All right, welcome back to our very lovely episode of Pork and Recreation. We're trying out BT's Fried Chicken and Barbecue here in Worcester at the lovely Quinsigamon State Park. Hopefully, this dish will be everything that's expected of it. Mine's topped with smoked pulled chicken along with their brisket gravy. So let's go in. Let's get some cheese curd, some fry, some gravy, some of that really good smoked chicken. Let's see what we have here. That's really good. I mean, the chicken, the smoked chicken is absolutely delicious. The french fries are cooked just right. They have a lovely crisp to them, but they're soaking up all this delicious gravy really well. That brisket gravy is just so savory and seasoned so well. The cheese curds, delicious. Yeah, that's the real deal. This was fantastic. If this is just an appetizer in the beginning of what this restaurant has to offer, I cannot wait to eat more. So let's go on and move forward. Traditional fried chicken, pulled pork. Their grits, from what I hear, they're pretty famous for, so those would be nice to try. Collard greens and cornbread. We also have a variety of sauces to try here.
This one is the traditional fried chicken, also boneless, skinless thigh, but it's just southern style buttermilk brined. So I wanted to try it. And you can get a 2-meat platter with any combination of 2 meats. Some of them come with a supplemental like the pork ribs and the brisket, which we will be trying in a little bit. But 2 meats, 2 sides, kind of like the old style southern meat and 3 kind of design of a restaurant. So let's go for it.
Right.
Traditional piece of chicken. Oh.
How was that?
It's a really good piece of fried chicken.
Is it a really good piece of fried? Yeah, this is not bad at all.
Alright, so I'm going with the Carolina style, the East Carolina style, which is this one here. Mostly vinegar based, probably just a little hot pepper sauce, vinegar, and some pepper flakes. And a little sugar. Pork is good. It doesn't have a very heavy smoke to it. The sauce really does make it better. It's not dry. It's very moist, but I would have liked it to be a little more smoky, or maybe to have some. Let me try a different piece here
try that first
with a little bit of the bark on it.
Yeah.
So let's give this a piece of try. Got a little bit more of the smokiness on that one.
A little bit better on that one.
I think this would probably be better if it was chopped with the sauce.
In a sandwich.
Yeah, mixed into it and made a sandwich. You do have to add something to it.
He's Santa jet skiing.
Come see on our video, Santa. Merry Christmas!
We're gonna try the sides here. And we got this grits. They're really creamy looking grits.
And there's no cheese on these grits, right? Just butter, cream.
Cream and butter.
Extremely creamy.
I think they use some chicken broth too. They're very light. Sometimes when you get grits, they're very gluey
but it's
and
light
heavy,
and
but this is light,
and
creamy.
You could imagine how it would be warm, almost like a nice. Oh, it's really good.
It's almost like a dessert.
Like, it's good.
If you put sugar in it, it would be like a rice pudding. It's so creamy. Those grits. Get the grits. Collard green. I always like collard greens in any form because they're a healthy vegetable.
I love collard greens too.
I like them. I think the worst thing that's happened with collard greens is a lot of places will barely cook them. And they need to be cooked until they're falling apart.
That's one thing. They're cooked. They're cooked down.
I think there are little bits of the pork in there. And they're nicely cooked tender.
They're cooked
They're
well.
really tender. I think maybe they could have added a little bit more vinegar or something to it too.
Need some vinegar, some hot sauce,
Yeah.
ham hocks.
We got some more stuff to taste, so we'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
But we're going to throw it down to our friend in North Carolina and see what she's having. I believe it's going to be pork.
You'll know.
Hey y'all, we're here down in Lexington, North Carolina today for a real special treat. We are at the Barbecue Center, one of North Carolina's famous chopped, sliced pork barbecue places. Here a little bit outside of Greensboro, North Carolina in Lexington, North Carolina, which some may argue is one of the most famous places for barbecue in the world. So come along, you don't want to miss it. It's a real special treat. Super excited. See you then. The famous thing about North Carolina barbecue is about the pork. Some people insist that it's the chopped style, so if you could see here, it's kind of all mashed together. Definitely doesn't look super appetizing, but I promise you it's really delicious. So let's give it a taste. This is when the sauce is all mixed in already. And it's super moist, not dry at all. So it's always a good test for the barbecue is when you don't need a lot of extra sauce to douse in them. This is really moist and tender and nice, and it works really nicely with the slaw. Beans are delicious. Really complements nicely with the chopped barbecue. You get that real kind of porky, for lack of a better word, flavor when you dig into this, but it makes a nice kind of smoky, slightly sweet side with it. Switch gears a little bit to this slice. I mean, if you look at it, I almost would think it's like brisket, but it's lighter than brisket. Thick cut like brisket. See how moist it is. It's a hefty bite. But really meaty and nice. The white slaw with it, more traditional, less vinegary slaw. Those pair, that actual pair, definitely still a fan of the chopped on its own, but the pairing of that white slaw, which again is more traditional, more mayo, with that sliced, really nice. These are definitely a lot bigger than I've seen. I have a nice crispy fry on the outside. You'll hear it. Very nice. Not too overpoweringly salty, not too greasy. I just get a little hint of a spice in it, like a peppery spice. Very nice on the hush puppies. That is a highlight. Cheerwine is kind of like the Dr. Pepper of the South. It's not as cola-y like Dr. Pepper is, but it's a cherry soda. Ooh, very sweet, of course, but kind of goes nice with all this salty fare. The Cheerwine will also get you that little sweet cherry treat. But lastly, we don't have any dessert today, but we'll have the mac and cheese as a nice dessert. So super creamy. See that there? Nice big piece of mac and cheese. Not super baked. That has an old-fashioned mac and cheese taste to me. Just real comforting, really nice. Super cheesy, not too like crumbly, too baked or anything like that. Just goes really nicely with this food. All right, so Barbecue Center in Lexington. I don't think I've been here before, but that's still up for debate. Looks familiar, but perhaps not. Nonetheless, delicious. Today, honestly, the slice was a little bit more of the highlight, which I was surprised by. White slaw, delicious. If you're ever in North Carolina, make sure that you check out the North Carolina Historic Barbecue Trail. So many different great options. We're more on the western side of the state now, so you have that western, eastern North Carolina barbecue. So enjoy it. Take care.
Pork ribs, everybody. Pork ribs. Take a look at the size of this giant pork rib. It is massive. I believe these are not baby backs. These are
Those are ribs.
full
Those
spare
are rib ribs.
full spare ribs, I believe. So, wow. I'm gonna try this plain, my first bite, and then we'll try it with a little bit of sauce. Here we go.
Ooh, that looked so soft when you bit it.
I've said this before about ribs on this show. For me, a little bit of a tug when you bite in it, you have to kind of tear the meat off. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
This was super tender. Look at this. But it does have a little, some pull here. So let's try this again now with the sauce. I think I want to try the meat heat because
All right.
I do like the spicier stuff. Just gonna pull off a piece. Oh, look at that. Beautiful pink smoke ring on it. Nice crusty bark on the outside surface. Dip it in a little bit of the sauce. Here we go. So look at the saucy. Even without the sauce, it still tasted good, but adding a little bit of sauce makes it better. And I hate saying this about sauce because barbecue purists would say it was good enough right out of the smoker. You didn't need to add anything to it, but I think it's nice to have a little bit of that extra liquid, a little that moist mouthfeel, and it helps to taste the meat even better. So don't sleep on the sauces. Definitely pick up some sauce while you're there. And it's free. They just have these giant jugs. You just pump them in. So take as much as you want. They're not charging for it. All right, you want to try it?
I am. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try this nice.
Ooh, the end piece.
Little end piece right here. I think this piece had that bite that you were looking for. This has a lot of texture. It's a chew. See? But it's good. It's that flavor that this char has right here. And the meat is so tender. This is great here. I'm gonna try the Piedmont sauce. That is delicious on there. That vinegar, that sweetness with the smokiness and the fattiness, everything just works wonderfully. This is a great rib. I'm so glad I had this today. Let's move on to the next thing. Of course, black eyed peas, onion, tomato. I don't know if this is cilantro or parsley, but we'll taste it and see what it is. That's good. But it almost is like a Mediterranean type of salad, almost like the Greek style salad where it's just tomatoes and cucumbers and some herbs, and I mean it's really good. The beans taste really nicely, really nice, flavorful. That's really good. Try that.
It's that good. I have to try
it.
All right.
I like it.
Let's get a cilantro.
Yeah, that's what I was getting in there. Cilantro.
So it's like a salsa with beans in it.
Bean salsa. But it's good.
That's what it tastes like.
Let's grab this mac and cheese because it's a little bit too cold. Alright, so we have some breadcrumb crust in there. I don't know if that's cracker or breadcrumb, but I
think
always
it's Ritz cracker.
Yeah, that's very traditional southern topping right there. That's good. And I'm partial to mac and cheese too, because a lot of places they just do not have good mac and cheese. It's not flavored, it doesn't taste good. That tastes so good. The cheese, the cheddar, the sharpness, it just comes right through and it's satisfying and it's great. And it's not hot. It's getting, cold and on that congealed level, but it's still good. So I can only imagine how good this tastes right out the oven, piping hot. That is some good mac and cheese.
Right.
Very good.
Now I do want to try that. I did hear that this place does make really good mac and cheese, which
That's
is why I said we should order it, because I heard it was really good. And it's not regular elbows. This is the cavatelli, the little spiral cut. Looks like it's got a nice creamy cheese base with maybe some melted cheese on top.
It's,
Yeah.
They definitely do
Yeah,
like
there's
a
a little bit of
bechamel type of style with this one
So
here.
let's try that. Mmm.
Told you,
What?
right?
What?
Flavor. I told you. I told you.
I was expecting something a lot more bland than that.
Thank you.
And it's not spice.
No, it's the
cheese.
cheese.
It's just
It's good
cheesy. It's
cheese.
just all cheese flavor.
And it's good cheese. It's not that. It's good.
That's wow. Everybody, I'm saying it now. That's probably the best thing we're gonna have today.
That is good. It's brisket time.
All right, time for the brisket. This was the moment we've been waiting for. All right. And I'll say, I've had the BT's Smokehouse, which is the Sturbridge location, the original. I've had their beef brisket, and it's fantastic. Look at this, though. Look at this piece of brisket. It's one piece they gave us, one slice, but it's massive.
And they slice to order, so it's not sitting there. It's not shredded or anything like that. It's a nice, beautiful brisket, and you know.
And it's very fatty,
Yes.
juicy. You can see
Look how
this.
shiny it
it's
is.
really fatty and juicy. So, give it a taste. It's a little bland.
Oh no! All
Now,
right.
granted, it's cold out. This was supposed to be eaten maybe an hour ago.
You're right. Could be a little bit better. Could be a little bit better. I mean, it's very tasty. I mean, but
The brisket looked beautiful at the store. It did. And it's nice. It's got this thick black bark on the outside. They very lightly season it before it hits the smoker. I believe they smoke for 18 to 24 hours, depending on the size of the brisket. And these darker pieces do
good.
taste good, but some of it, and maybe it's because we were there earlier in the day, it has a raw charcoal flavor to it, a burned oil flavor rather than the smoke that you would get the wood flavor from it. So
I would still recommend anybody to try it. I mean, it's a nice piece of brisket.
oh, it's delicious.
Delicious.
It's just not my favorite brisket I've
No.
ever had. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna stand by my words. The mac and cheese
Mac and cheese.
was the best thing we
Stand
had
out. Stand
by
out.
far today.
And I think the poutine was pretty darn good. I mean, it was really good to me. I mean, the gravy was great. That smoked chicken was great.
That chicken sandwich was awesome.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Their chicken is their chicken is on the money.
You don't like wave at me, Santa.
Santa, what about me, Santa?